Why am I successful in teaching? Why does everyone gain 40 yards? Well, it's not rocket science really, but it is science. I can go to Flight Scope and explain this. If I have a launch speed of 100 miles an hour and basically 23 degrees of launch, which is the way the club was designed, the proper launch, looking for on a pitching wedge 100 feet of height. In most clubs, that's the trajectory we're looking for, the height. Normal is 6,500 RPM. And let's say we just run a little scenario here. Show you exactly with those numbers what we would have. This is my typical pitching wedge. So I'm at 138 yards total, 133 yards a carry. So what I typically see, 78 miles an hour is typical. The launch is higher, much higher. I usually see 30 or higher as far as launch, which means you're going to have more of a glancing blow to the ball. And I won't see, because of that too, I tend not to see very high RPM rates. 5,000, 5,500 is normal. So let's see what that does for us. 96 yards a carry, 103 yards total. I often see seniors with those parameters. So how do I get them to improve? The first part's easy. If I get you to 23 degrees, the way the club is built, immediately, even if you don't change anything else, you'll see a gain. Now you're getting 110 yards. So simply by changing nothing else but your launch, because of your relationship of the launch, however, angle, your mile per hour of your ball speed goes up because you'll get more compression. So I can see somebody doing 85 miles an hour with only changing just a few small things, showing them how to use the tool. They'll get more speed on the ball, and suddenly you're up to 117 yards of total. It's just that simple. If you can look at those numbers, don't hit so high, get some lean on your club, get some compression, your ball speed goes up. Then what I do typically is work on your speed, show you techniques of getting it to 90 miles an hour, and watch what happens. Now suddenly you're up to 125, 126 yards, and just amazed that you can get that kind of distance. It's not rocket science, but it is science. Even good players, really good players, have the same issues. So typically, they can find themselves 90 miles an hour when they start. I'll see them at a 30 launch. And they'll have slightly higher spin rates. And you'll see this. So they might be able to get it to 120 yards, 115, 120. So for them, I do exactly the same thing. I get their launch down. And instantly, they're up to 122. Because of the relationship of dropping the angles, getting compression, this will automatically go up. You'll get more ball speed, and you'll see these results, 133 to 138. I then show technique in order to optimize your 90-degree angles from the top with your arms. It's a pendulum. The longer you hold 90, release at your right leg, the more speed you'll have. And then you'll see numbers like this as more typical. And all of a sudden, they go to 140 to 146 with the pitching wedge. And everyone's amazed. You see, Mike's not really magic. I just learned how this worked and learned how to apply specifics to get compression, to learn how to use the tool right, where to release, where to stand the club up, how to maintain your 90 angles. And it all results in success. It's why everyone I teach gains. It's good old common sense. It's how I learned to do it.